G'day guys, welcome back to another video of Legends of Aria. My name is Coffee, and today we're going to talk a little bit about the warrior. So first of all, if you create a new character, you want to start with such skills such as slashing, depending on the type of weapon that you'd like to use. Slashing is a one-handed weapon, lance is two-handed, bashing has some two-handed weapons, so it's up to you on that part. Then we have vigor, you want to have vigor, you want to have healing, and you want to have martial prowess, which is a new skill come out with Steam release. So I've started in Pyro, and that's what I recommend that you guys do. Very first thing that you want to do is you want to start your training. So press on the profession window down the bottom, and then you will click on the tracking or stop tracking the training profession, and it will mark on your mini map where your trainer is. So in my case, it's to the east. So in this guide, we're going to talk about some of the things, how to be efficient, and it's when it comes to training the warrior, as the warrior should be training in different locations compared to the ranger, and the mage trains in a different way altogether. And I've just released a guide for that. So here's a warrior guy. Just talk to him. Yes. I want you to equip a weapon, but you would have already had a weapon if you started a new character. If you're an established character, then obviously you can just buy a weapon over here at the blacksmith. Speak to the trainer again. Press spacebar. So what that's just telling you is go in and out of combat. It's a little thing that you want to make sure you do in case you attack your horse. Just press the spacebar and you won't kill your horse. Yes, can I hit things? Press spacebar to toggle into combat stairs. Want you to attack a training dummy. Okay, and back to this guy. So it's it used to be a little bit more sandboxy and less questing, and some of us just don't like this. But for you new guys, it probably is helpful. And just say, I feel powerful, continue. It's pretty trivial stuff, and you complete it to learn how to fight. So that's the very first one. Now you will start your progression training in your next area at level 50. So if I can hover my mouse over the journeyman, here we are. So you need 50 weapon skill, 50 martial prowess, 50 healer, feeling, and 50 vigor. That's part of the reason that we started with those core skills when we began the game. Okay, going into the actual guide and where this is going to be helpful for you guys. You've probably got very limited armor right now. You've probably got one weapon and you've got hardly any gold. So first of all, we want to go to the sewers, and that's just to get a little bit of gold behind us. It's not a really good training area. You're not going to get much from it, just gold. So we come to the sewers over here to get you started. Make your way down here. And ideally, you would only be attacking the lurkers because they drop the most copper. So there are bats and there are rats down the aisles down here, but they drop between like 10 and 12 copper. However, these lurkers usually drop about 30. So you've got a couple of different ways to loot. You can hold your Alt key and you can left click it and it will instantly loot, or you can attack it. Once you've killed it, you can right click it and you can press loot all. And on some of the some mobs, you can press harvest if you've got a knife. Okay. And that will just harvest leather and stuff. Whenever you've got that option, you should do it because you need a lot of leather to be able to make up your skills. So you can open it like that, or you can just left click it quickly and it'll open up the bag and you can pick and choose what you'd like. So what like I said, I recommend that you guys get some gold. You're going to want at least 1,000 gold, maybe a little bit more, 1,200 gold. It won't take you long, 5 minutes, but you won't get that many levels. What I do recommend that you guys do when you're down there, just keep pressing that one key. You want to get that healing up as much as you possibly can, because that's going to save you guys. And I'm going to really encourage you guys to do that in a minute. So once you've got that gold, you're going to leave here. I'm going to put my horse back on because it's nice. It's too slow out here. You can buy horses for 500 gold, which is the equivalent of old silver, 50 silver at the stable house. And, you can just summon it and dismount it whenever you want. Just make sure you dismount it whenever you... dismiss it. It will dismiss instantly, actually. Now that's a good thing, because things used to kill our horses all the time, and that was a real bother. Anyhow, so after you've done that and you've got yourself some gold, I want you to go back to the blacksmith, which is where we were just at, just over here, and you get yourself some heavy armor. And these are some tips here. These are some really important tips, and they're going to make your life a lot easier and make you far more efficient to those that haven't actually watched this guide and don't know about these tips. So buy some bandages. So you want to buy, say, 300 or 400. Okay? The more you have, the better. So right now you should have some armor. And ideally, you would have an extra piece of chest armor because it breaks down faster. If you press C and then you hover your mouse over the armor, it now has a durability on it. It actually shows you what it was, but it wasn't the case previously. But the chest definitely takes a brunt of the hit. The next thing you want to do, and this sounds a little bit funny, why are you buying this if you're a warrior? You want to buy yourself a mage book, a spell book, or you want to buy yourself a loot. So you can make a loot through carpentry at level 25, and you can do that. You can train with 2 silver to get the loot, and then you get a couple of wood by lumberjacking. I've got some other guides coming out for that very soon. The reasons being is that, and this is the tricky bit. This is where I'm telling you guys it's really important, and it's very effective on leveling. Okay, I brought this spell book not because I want to cast spells, but because I want to attack with it, right? So I'm going to make my way out to a bear right now, or I'm going to make my way to any creature that's not really strong, and it's got sort of, it's got a bulk of HP. And I'm going to sit there, and it's going to attack me, and I'm going to attack it, and I'm going to get a lot of levels. Well, I'm not, because my level's already substantially higher than what you guys will be. But at level 35 or 30, you guys are going to get a lot of levels. So I'm trying to find myself a bear now. Okay, I managed to find a bear. So what you're going to do, just walk up and click on it. Attack it. And you just want to auto-attack it, okay? Now, if you guys, I would not normally recommend this. I really wouldn't. I just dislike it altogether. I don't like people that abuse the system and use macros and stuff. But apparently, you're allowed to use a macro to press the same commands over and over if you are at your keyboard. You have to stay at your keyboard. That is the rule. Oh, no, the guard's going to attack the bear. That's not what I want. Oh, no, good, he attacked the other one. So, what you guys want to do, just like I am right now, okay, you just keep pressing 1 and you'll spam that heal. You'll get healing from it, like I just did at 75.9. You'll get vigor gains from it, okay? You'll get martial prowess, and it just levels up a lot of different stuff. Now, the reason why I recommended that you grab the loot is because I definitely was getting martial prowess from it. But my martial prowess is quite high. It's 83.1, so it is unlikely I'm going to be getting gains on the bear. So you need to, like I said before, you need to attack something appropriate to your level to get gains depending on the skill. So for example, if I wanted to level up my lancing right now, I would need to be attacking monsters in the level 70 range. And it's kind of tough to tell you. I can't just be like, give you a list of what levels to attack certain creatures because they haven't actually got a level. It's one of those things you just got to experience and understand throughout playing the game. So this is what I would do if I was you guys. This is actually going to save you time in the long run by a lot. Like a lot. I've actually went out and I did this. I tested it. I got a new character. I did the whole deal to make sure I knew exactly what you guys are going to be going through. So keep changing your armor out as you need to. Keep spanning your bandages. You'll get all those gains. You're going to be here for, I would recommend, at least half hour, maybe even an hour, because you can keep doing it. I did it for like an hour and a half, and I was in my 55. I was around 55 healing, and that made everything so much easier. I was able to go and defeat different mobs, different monsters at like dungeons and stuff, and just blast my way through some of the content and get like more gold than other people and such. Okay, so after you've done that, you found yourself a bear and you attack him for a while, and you get yourself some levels. Then obviously you want to make your way to a graveyard. And the reason that we're doing a graveyard is, one, we need more copper because bears don't really drop any copper. You just get leather and stuff from them. 2, we want to get some levels in lancing, so you'll hit a little bit harder. Your martial prowess and your vigor is going to help you with your weapon, but you also need to make up your slashing or lancing or whatever it may be. So once again, attacking something appropriate to your level. So there's a graveyard to the west of the Paro. There's a handful of graveyards all around the world. So if you're in Velis, there's a big graveyard right here. And if you've come to Eldir, you probably there's a graveyard here somewhere. It's not that great. And Helm, there's another graveyard way up the top here. I haven't actually unlocked the map on this guy because there's no need to go that way. Alright, so this is a red player. Red player is PvP, and all those rules have just changed, unfortunately. Anyway, so here we are. We're at the graveyard. You want to kill the zombies, and you want to kill the skeletons. So mainly skeletons, because skeletons have they're about level 15 to 20 base level, and the zombies are around the level 30 area. So if you're struggling for whatever reason, I hope that you guys actually got the healing up, because if you did, you won't struggle that much. If you come here straight away, which is usually what people recommend, you're gonna struggle. You have to run backwards and forwards and stuff like this, and you have to run away for 2 minutes because your HP is all the way down, and you're trying to use bandages. It's just a pain. So it's just definitely worth going to get that healing up and that vigor and a martial, whatever, all those skills. Okay, come here, attack these guys. You want to get to around 40s, 45. You could even stay here upwards of 50, but it would start to slow down, and it's actually not worth it. So I would recommend that you guys just stay here. You defeat zombies, you defeat skeletons up until 40. Okay, that's enough talking. Let's go to the next area. Just in case this is your first character and you don't actually know how to get around the world just yet, I have done a guide on that, guys, but however, you can use the gatekeeper. So you just make your way to the marked map here, and attune your body with the gatekeeper, press interact, and then we go to crossroads. And then you can only use the gates that is close to the other gates. So you have to use the gate multiple times to get around the world. Now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making our way to Black Light. So you want to go to Eldia Village, because that place is a little bit closer to Black Forest. And then one more after I go through the teleporter. Black Forest Outpost. Okay, so Black Forest Outpost is definitely the area you want to train at a higher level. And there's actually some monsters in here that are incredibly good, including forest walkers and such. If you find yourself in the area of magic mushrooms, big glowy mushrooms, that's a really good area. But that stuff is 60 plus. So this guy's just going to get you guys to easy 50 and, really fast 50, to be honest. So we've got two areas. This is Mushroom Grove over here. There's a bunch of there's some of those trees and such over here. There's this area down here. I'll go unlock the map in a second, actually. Okay, so I just ran and went to the outpost to get the map so you guys can clearly see where we're going. So if you would like to map, just travel from this area, follow this road along, go across the bridge, and there's a town up here. You'll see it in the mini map. It looks such like this. Come to a general store and you can buy a map for 200 gold. Alright, so it's not actually marked on the map, but this area down here, this area here, not there is a handful of harpies. It's not as good as the place I'm about to go, but it's definitely enough. There's enough harpies there to support probably 2 people, 3 people. Now, you ideally, it doesn't sound like many, I know, but you ideally want to have a warrior in this area. You don't want to be bringing a ranger here, and you don't really want to be bringing a mage here. The guys that we're about to fight, they're very fast on their feet, and they will use an ability to make you bleed. So they'll use an ability to make it so you can't heal. But because our vigor and our healing is up already because we did that bear trick, they're not going to be a problem. And they're actually ideal for us to kill because we're going to get lancing levels or slashing levels around the 40 to 45s, substantially faster if you were to be attacking at the graveyard still. So if you haven't gone down here, come up to the hairy nest, which is just here. So you can just follow the path back along, and it's pretty obvious. So you want to make your way there. It is west of the gate. If you guys go straight there. Just while I see one, this guy here is a forest walker. So of course, I did mention that you guys can click and drag people, the monsters' HP bars out. It's a quick and easy way to identify where they are. And for example, I can click this and I'll run up and attack him. But I don't want to actually do that because I'm out. Oh no! But I'll run away. It's okay. So forest walkers, they're around the level 60 area. They're ideal to attack after you guys have gone ahead and you've been at the harpies that we're going to for a fair while. But they're all over this entire forest, but there's a couple of key locations that you'll find a whole bunch of them. Okay, so I'm coming up on the hairy nest now. If you see on your mini map, you're up at this area here, then you know you're nearby it. So, like I was saying, there's 2 types of harpies here. There's a normal harpy, which is a slightly lower level, and then there's wild harpies. So after your gains start slowing down quite a lot, or you're comfortable enough that you can kill 2 harpies or 3 harpies at one time, then you could definitely start moving on to the wild harpies. And because they're at a slightly higher level, you will be able to get more gains on those than you would compared to the normal harpies. Make sure that you have your hunting knife. I hope you guys bring it because you want to be harvesting these guys because they give you feathers, which you use for an upgraded arrow type, so you can sell those. And as well as they drop tier 2 seeds. Tier 2 seeds aren't amazing, but they're definitely good enough that you want to use them and get food going, because you know some of the buffs are really useful. Okay, so let's have a look here. You can see straight on top of their names if it says Harpy or Wild Harpy. That's a Wild Harpy there. If you want to avoid him when you can, especially while you're at an early level, but it won't take long. It will take you maybe 20 minutes, half hour of sitting here grinding, and you'll have enough levels that you'll be able to take these guys on. They have a large attack range, so you know, by being somewhat nearby, he will come after me. That's definitely not what you want. If that does happen, you want to, at the start, you want to be kiting away. Now you can see those little skulls on my head right now. Well, that's that debuff here. That's Mortal Strike. Cannot heal with bandages or magic. So when that happens, if your HP is running low, you just back off. Run off a little bit. It will last a few seconds and then continue. Don't forget, I can't stress enough, this is how important it is for you guys as a warrior to continue to use your bandages and keep spamming heal, and that will give you the healing, and that will give you the vigor and martial prowess. And I've nearly died because I wasn't paying attention. So I had 2 harpies there on myself, and I can still get gains on these guys even at my level. As you saw, I just got Lancing before, so it's a really good area for mid to high levels. I'm going to kill this guy. Bandages go back up. See, at the start, going on about the healing a bit more, bloody ranted on here, the heals will only heal you like 30, 40 healing, but by the time you get to 60s and stuff, it will start healing you for 100 plus. See, that was 150. So the difference is huge, because it's going to be like an extra 2 hits every 12 seconds that you can take. So it's really worth it. So then you just harvest it like so, and then take his goods. Okay, so you've been here for a while, you've gotten yourself some levels, you're upwards of 60s, 70s, okay, and you're still getting gains, but you want to move on to a different area, or you're just a little bit bored of the harpies. So the next place you guys are going to be going is the Halls of Corruption. So it's the newbie dungeon. It's not hard to get to, so I'm not going to take you guys there. I'm just going to point it out on the map. Right here is the Halls of Corruption. So in there, you're going to find a range of different types of creatures, but earlier on, you're just going to be fighting imps and gargoyles and greater imps and such, and they drop frayed maps, frayed scrolls mainly, and they're used for inscription as well as a good source of copper. So they're very, you know, they're average, they're okay. It is worth going there. Now, one other thing, I forgot to mention this, and I do apologize if you haven't looked at this beforehand. The strength, agility, intelligence, constitution, wisdom, and will. And the attack speed. So this stuff depends on the equipment that you're wearing, and this should have probably been at the start of the guide, but that's okay. The attack speed really is important. So that's why slashing and such is faster than lancing. The reasons are because each time you try and swing your sword, you get the chance of getting a gain. So obviously what that means is that the faster your attack, the more chances that you're going to get that gain. Yeah. So you always use a fast attack weapon regardless of what type of weapon you're using while you're trying to level up. Definitely worth. Power Affinity, that's a mage. Defense comes from your armor. And you can enchant your armor getting from scroll or from items that you get from handing in work orders now that the Steam's come out. You're going to need to, with your vitality, when it's rested, that's perfectly fine. You will get lower XP. So it's not XP, sorry, you will get a lower chance of gains while your vitality is down. So most of you guys would load that now, but some of you may not. You need to increase that at an inn by listening to a bard. So that's kind of a pain, but you know, it is the way it is. Down here, strength, agility, intelligence. Oh, I already mentioned all that stuff. Okay, so agility is important because, of course, it makes your attack speed faster. However, at a later level, you actually want it to come down. So armor will bring it down naturally. So you want to have this pointed upwards. You want to have your strength pointing upwards, intelligence down, constitution up, wisdom down, and will down. So wisdom, you know, damage taken from magical spells and such, but you're going to have higher constitution, and hopefully your armor can reflect some of that damage. Or maybe you might be wearing a buckler, you know, and you'll have Grandmaster shield blocking, which will be 25% of damage coming out reduced. Anyhow. So yeah, increase your strength, increase your agility. At a later level, lower your agility, continue to increase your constitution. So that depends on the type of build that you want to do.
That covers everything in today's video. If you liked the video, hit the subscribe button. You can check my other content here. If you'd like more information or a lover of MMO games, join our community, Variety MMOs. The links are below the video. Coffee out.